Hi, thank you for clicking on my video. I am Beth Ann of Beth Ann Stamps, and I'm so glad you have joined me this week. This is my first video in July, and July is going to be Christmas in July cards and tags. So each week I will be featuring a different stamp set, and from that stamp set we will make a card and a tag. Never too early to start on your Christmas cards. So let's go ahead and jump in. This week we are using Peaceful Deer, and then I am using the returning paper called Painted Christmas. It is back in the new mini catalog that went live this week. Let me get it to the front here. I just love what's in this new mini catalog, and this paper has returned on page 29. So we're going to be working with that this week. So let's go ahead and get started. For the first card, let me pull in. I have a card base that is cut 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2 for that top folding card. And then for the front, we're going to make this in layers. This garden green is cut 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. And don't worry about capturing all of the dimensions. I do put the dimensions in the coordinating blog that'll be linked below. So I'm going to build my front on here first, and we're going to use this DSP. Now, I've got 2 pieces cut here. One is 3 3/4 by 2 1/4, and one is 3 7/8 by 3/4. You could do these either way. You could do them this way. You can do them this way like I did here. Let's go ahead and do this one the opposite. So I'm going to glue this one on the bottom, and I want to leave, let's see, is my glue going to even come out? Here we go. Come on. There we go. You want to leave a little edge because there should be that 1/8 of an inch all the way around when we're finished. So we're going to put that down there. Now, the top one is again cut at 3 3/4 by 2 1/4. But what I want to do with this one first is I wanted to give it some texture. So I'm going to stamp my sentiment on it, and it is wishing you a wonderful year and friendship, dear. And I'm going to stamp this in Early Espresso. Let me bring in my mat. And I'm just going to put it in the center to the right here. Oops, sorry if I'm out of shot. Okay. So now what I want to do though is I want to run this through my embossing folder. And I am using, out of the main catalog, there is the Wintry 3D, and this one happens to be the pine branches. And the other one I believe is snowflakes. So we're going to take this piece, and we are going to run it through the mini. I swear I'm just gonna give mine a different kind of name because I get so confused with the name myself. So we're gonna use plate 1, which is this one. You know what? When you're not sure what you need to do, always look at the plates that come with it, because they're all numbered. And on here for the 3D embossing folder, I need plate 1, then my embossing folder, then plate 4. So even I that use them all the time have to keep looking at those to remember. All right, so we're gonna run this through. I absolutely love this mini stamping, emboss, and die cut. And there we go. Isn't that cute? So I want to show you what I did here because it works either way. This one was on the emboss side. This one's on the deboss side, and it works either way. So don't worry about how you put it into the folder. It will work. All right, so we're going to glue this one down. And again, I'm going to keep it close to that top edge. I really only want that about 1/8 of an inch to show. And then this one was that 3/4 of an inch by 3 7/8 because I wanted it to go across the full part of the green background for that garden green. Sometimes you gotta really get that to stick. All right, this one was pretty simple. There we go. Now I can glue this down to our crumb cake base. I like matching cards and gift tags, or you can just make the gift tags for separate. It doesn't have to go with the card. But I'm starting early on my Christmas cards. I'm gonna bump the camera here for a minute. It looks like it's falling. Okay, so now what I want to do is I'm going to take a piece of basic white, and again I'm going to use my Early Espresso ink, and I have chosen the deer that has Oh What Fun script within it. So I'm going to ink that up. I'm going to stamp the deer. Look at that. I love this punch. I'm glad that it was a carryover into the main catalog this year. It was one of my favorites last year. I taught a bundle class on it, and I think everybody really enjoyed. We did 10 cards, 2 each of 5 designs. There we go. Look how pretty that is. All right, then I am going to bring in some mini dimensionals to put this down with. My nails are so short this week, chopped them all off. It's having trouble grabbing these. I do like to cut the edges here into very thin strips. This will allow me to put them on the legs so that those don't collapse. Let's see if I can get these apart. There we go. And we'll grab another one. Also this month in July, if you have not been following on my Facebook page, I will link it below. I am taking part in a Facebook event. It is a Christmas extravaganza card making live event on Facebook on July 16th. There will be 3 of us presenting. Lynn Dunn of Stamptastic Designs, Linda Anderson of Linda Lou Creates, and then myself. We will each be teaching 2 different sessions. And there is a link on my Facebook page to sign up for that. So you will get a lot of Christmas card ideas that day. I will link my Facebook page below also, so you can take a look at that, and you can register through, I think it's Eventbrite. All right, so there is the front of our card. So now I'm going to do the inside. It's pretty simple. It's the basic 5 1/4 by 4. I've taken 3 of the tree stamps out of the stamp set, and then I'm going to do garden green, and I'm going to stamp those along the bottom. Oh, let's see, where did I do with my Got a little too much ink in the corner there. Okay, so we're just gonna stamp this down here in the corner. There we go. And then again, I'm going to do my sentiment, just straight Merry Christmas. And I have been doing more often than not, you know, there's times that I struggle with getting my sentiment perfectly even in the center. And I like to write notes in my cards. So I've actually been doing a little bit off center lately. So you will see me do that more often. So there's my inside now. It seems like there must have been something on my stamp here. I have a little bit of an issue there. But that's what they make these Stampin' Write markers for. I can just come in here and fill that in. All right, and that's all I need on the inside. A little bit of glue goes a long way. And there we go. I like them both. I don't know which design I like better. I just really like those papers, that garden green with the pine cones. So there we have our card this week. So now we're gonna do our tag. And the tag is just a simple tag. You don't need any special die cuts with this one for this week. I'm gonna start with, make sure I have the right one here. Yep, I am going to start with a piece of crumb cake that is 4 by 2.5. And then I'm going to use a piece of Designer Series paper that is cut 1/2 inch. So let me bring my trimmer in here. I do not have that cut. I just decided to use these pine cones. So I'm just going to put that in here, cut it to 1/2 inch. And then put some glue on here just to bring some color in with this. All right, so I'll trim the bottom off here. And then the next thing I'm gonna do is I wanna punch my hole in the very center. So I'm actually going to lay this, since this is 2.5, I'm gonna go 1 1/4 inches in here. And I'm gonna grab my pencil and right in where the trimmer would go, where the blade would go, I'm gonna put a little line there. That way, when I bring my hole punch in, I'm gonna get right in the center, or as close to it as possible. There we go. And then I can erase that mark. And then I wanted to angle the top. Now, you could take a pair of scissors and cut the angles in it, but I happen to have this angle cutter, and I'm gonna do the large angle. All right. So there's our base. And then I'm gonna bring back in the mini here. And this time I'm going to use it to die cut. So I need plates 1 and plates 2. And it should have been right here with all the other plates. Ah, there it is. All right. You can see this is well loved. I always keep one on the bottom and keep cutting over and over to try to save on plates. I need to get a new set, and then I'll move this to the bottom. Okay, so I have a piece of thick basic white, and I am going to bring in the circles from the Stylish Shape dies. You get 15 in here, the labels, the squares, the circles, and this is the 3rd from the largest. We'll go ahead and cut this one out. This little guy just sits up here all the time because he's just so easy to use, and he takes so many of the dies. All right. So So for this one, I'm going to bring in a piece of scratch paper also. There we go. And then I'm going to start with another set of the trees, but I don't want them full strength, so I am going to stamp them off so that they just look like a background piece. So ink up, stamp off, and then make sure I'm on the right side here. Okay, we'll put one there, and then I think I'll go ahead and put another little set of trees right beside it. There we go. All right. And then also in this set, there are some snowflakes. So I thought it would be fun to add those. So I brought in the Balmy Blue. And again, I'm going to stamp off since I just want them to be a little bit in that background. They're not my focal point, but I wanted to add something to the background here. There we go. And one more here on the edge. So there we go, just sort of a nice little subtle background. Okay, and then I'm going to use a piece of scratch crumb cake, and I'm going to stamp the deer in crumb cake onto here. I decided to do it this way versus coloring the deer in. Sometimes I like to color and some days I don't. Today was one of those where I thought, you know what? Let's just let the paper do the work for us. So we'll line this up. I think that's it. There we go. Almost lost a leg. There we go. So I am going to glue this one straight down, and I'm going to put it here. And then I am going to put dimensionals on the back of this one. Now, before I put this down onto here, I do want to stamp this. I chose Let's Celebrate on the bottom. There we go. And then I wanted to put a little bit of ink and sponge it around the edges on this one. So again, I'm going to bring in the crumb cake. Just pick some up on the sponge and sponge it around to just give it a little texture. Make it pop off the present. I like how that looks. I don't do as much sponging as I used to. I think sometimes, you know, I get out the blending brushes and use those. So sometimes it's fun to do this way. All right. Now I'm going to take off these backs. So if you make Christmas cards, when do you start making them? I'd love to know. I actually started a while ago just doing a weekly challenge and have been making them. Let me find the right scissors here. There we go. So I am using the Baker's Twine Essential Pack. It comes with crumb cake, basic gray, black, vanilla, and white. So that works perfect for this one. And there we go. Little string in there. You can trim it off or leave it long, personal preference. And now on the back, I currently do not have a to and from, but you can pull in the Stampin' Rate markers and do 2. This one happens to be Early Espresso. And there you go. To and from on the back. All right, so this is our first set for July. Let me pull back in. Move some things here. So we have the cards and the tags for this week using the Peaceful Deer stamp set and the painted Christmas paper. So I really hope you enjoyed this. It would really help me if you would give me a thumbs up down below and click like, and don't forget to hit subscribe and that bell. I would really appreciate it. I recently went over 100. I know I'm just beginning and that might not seem like much to some people, but it's a big achievement to me. So I'd like to be able to keep growing that number of subscribers. And also, seriously, check out, I have the link below for the Christmas card extravaganza that the 3 of us are putting on. We're all Stampin' Up! Demonstrators on Facebook on July 16th. We would love for you to join us and get some ideas for Christmas. You'll have tutorials and 6 presentation and a mystery card. There'll be lots of prizes. It'll be a lot of fun. And the price, because of what's going on in the economy, we did drop the price, so it's very reasonable with all the tutorials and ideas that you're going to get and the prizes that will be given out. So anyway, thank you so much. I do truly appreciate you taking time out of your day to watch one of my videos. And I hope you have an amazing rest of your week. Thank you. Bye-bye.